When it comes to creating internal events, we have to understand what it takes as a starting point. So, what we need to emphasize whenever we're setting this intention to create an internal event, and the emphasis should be on nothingness, because nothingness is how we get experience with nothing, with no thought or feeling, no desire to even have no thoughts or no feelings. So it's about understanding the paradox that the mysterious conundrum of one exudes. How does a character, trait, or persona act within the regiments of good and evil? How does a good character act within the regiments of evil? How does an evil character act within the regiments of good? This is like a mental, spiritual exercise for your logic, so that you can understand what is counterintuitive to your nature. Whenever you understand the things that are counterintuitive, you now understand what is intuitive and what's not intuitive. So guess where you're left at with knowing, with separation. You split the waters, you split the sea. I'm sorry, you split the ocean. Now you have seas, now you can see. So this is about understanding feeling, seeing feeling, seeing the wave that you was in as a soul, expressing a spirit, a environment that influenced you to behave, think, feel, act within the regiments of that environment. Environment, esoterically speaking, is what I just stated, a spirit. Because whenever you transition from that spot, that psychological spot, so that object, character, persona, or archetype, and there's a thin line between character and archetype. Character and persona are like interchangeable words. What I mean by a persona, archetype, is how your character of what something represents for you is acting and behaving with the environment of what that thing that character was made for is at. So the environment that the thing of the thing, and how that in itself is relating. So it can get very confusing because, like I stated, it's a paradox. You got to understand, we can't take oneness and make it a subject, make it an object, because you're already detaching from it. You're implying separation. So it don't make sense. Literally. So what I mean by understanding paradox is developing a logic, a intuition, a set of reasoning to understand what is not natural. When I mean by human logic, human nature, okay? Something that is unfathomable, because the thing that we're trying to fathom, it was nothing in front of it to have something to correlate it, to correspond it to have it being something that's fathomable. This is about seeing the invisible. So to do that, we had to understand space, spots, transitions, gaps, tones, sounds, music, how you dance within a spot and how you transition to another spot, how you get a new desire, new intention, new thought, and you go on a mission, on a line of reasoning from that spot. And whenever you're aware that you're doing that, that's when you can analyze the spirit, the entity, or in this case, God, because you got to understand what man was pointing to when he was creating the term God was this right here, the gaps between each psychological state. God is a personified or anthropomorphic principle. So something that entails and gives us information about a relationship, the first principles of that getting personified so that the human brain can comprehend. You get what I'm saying? But you got to understand the oneness, the wholeness, the nothingness. We all here. There's no debunking that. We all here. So you have to understand. This is about understanding and being intelligent about what it is that you're associating to and how you're expressing. Because this is the gateway to heaven, to being aware of your psychological states, your mind, earth, how each characters are working, exuding, putting energy within different aspects of your life that is creating your own unique universe, your own reality. Okay, so you gotta really, really understand this is what we're doing, and this is what man was pointing to when man came up with the idea to name something a god. Okay, there's just one thing, dude. Like, we're all here, not debunking that. So get about the biasness and understand words, understand life. Like really, this is about understanding those beliefs, seeing those beliefs. Because whenever we understand the spot that we was at and the spot we were going to, we see the tone of that relationship, how that affects us, that sound, and how we move with that sound, our experience with that sound. Do we like that sound? Does that sound irk our ears? So, totally speaking, does that sound remind you of something that's chaotic, that puts you in a state of fear? So it's about understanding where you're going to and where you've been to see the mysteriousness that you was in that manifested as a first thought, as a first feeling. Because when we're not aware of the first thought or feeling, that entails that we created a mind to automatically act within an urge of an idea, of our creativity. So we're trying to put an idea within a form so that form can materialize something that represents some type of biasness, ego, or some type of energy that you value, whether you are deeming it good or evil. This is about understanding good and evil. This is about understanding the relationship of good and the relationship of evil. This is about having a good relationship with evil and an evil relationship with good. What I mean by this is analyzing the object as being a character, and what that character is involved with, aka the things that represent that character, and where those things that represent that character come from. So this is deep. I ain't gonna say this is deep. So understand your shadow. So this requires shadow work. This requires wisdom you being witty with wisdom, like beyond wisdom. You having wisdom in your back pocket. That's all you know is wisdom. So within this space, this is what I'm pointing to. Don't beat yourself down whenever we're trying to analyze the unknown, what's invisible, okay? Because you got to understand, if things are any way, you're not seeing nothing. So this is the starting point to creating internal events. That is the eternal event. Now, I know this is very complex because it's naturally counterintuitive. So that's why I stated earlier, understand your shadow, do your shadow work. Don't get into any thoughts or feelings to use to get to nothing, because it's not gonna work. Like, it don't make sense. Like, I'm being dead ass, but this is the truth. So this information, it needs to get out. Like, it needs to get out. This is a more so, if you know energy. Okay. But whenever we understand where we're going to, then hey, the ride can be way smoother. So this should help you understand eternal events, really the significance of an eternal event. Because whenever you're here at this space that I'm talking about right now, whenever you have this understanding, you already got the skill of your shadow. You already know your shadow, period. Because how else are you getting here? How else are you seeing nothing? By getting rid of everything. Understanding good and evil. Seeing no good, seeing no evil. Having no experience with nothing. I'm sorry. Having experience with nothing. Complete detachment from all thoughts and feelings. Not to have a desire for no thought or no feeling. That's the key. Listen to that. To have no desire for no thoughts or feelings. To have no desire for no thoughts or feelings. So, hope this helped. Hope this, if anything, push you in a more optimistic energy towards your spiritual growth. So with that being said, like, comment, subscribe.